Alrighty then. I think we're just about set here. Turn that down. Okay, this is going to be the first day of oh wow, I got the volume up on this too. Turn that down. There we go. Let's turn that one down. All right. This is going to be the first day of the fish painting here. I will approach this a little differently than I do my tutorials. All right. This is probably the largest canvas I've done in quite some time. This canvas is 24 by 36. All right. So this is almost the maximum height for this particular easel. Okay. I hope you guys can see it somewhat well. I don't have the center light on because it's pretty early. It's about 1:25 at the time of me recording this. So, yeah. All right, we're gonna just, I already prepped the top half, because we're gonna concentrate on the top half with glycerin and paint. So, you know, the paint moves around a little bit and everything. Now, because this is a larger board, I'll more than likely use larger brushes for this. All right, and so I was just sitting here for a while thinking about what am I going to do for the clouds. And I think I want something kind of bright over here by the water line. I'm going to use the varnish brush for this part. Like I say, larger canvas, larger brushes. All right. Down below, I got some sienna, some cad yellow, and some titanium white. All right, that's just the residual white and glycerin right there. All right, okay, so I'll dip into some yellow here. Obviously, you know, yellow's pretty transparent and need a little white to kind of bump that up a little bit. All right, I'll probably have it a brighter yellow from the bottom, but anyway, we'll just get this thing started here. Okay, grab a little bit of this color, and I'll try my best to keep it matched up here. All right, like I said, the glycerin will move around a bit. I'll paint right through the fish, act like the fish doesn't exist. All right. Let's bump up some more white down toward the bottom here. Just contaminate that white with the yellow. All right. Okay. And come on down to the bottom. Really put it in there. Do the same thing on the other side. Let's get a little more white. Kind of want it to really shine a little bit here. I'm not really worried about the top for right now. The top will be blended with other stuff a little bit later. Okay. All right. I think we're good right about there. All right. I'm going to actually take a little bit of sienna and create like a little block there. All right. Just a little line, and I'll fade the line into the I'll fade the line a little bit into the yellow. So I'll go up above a little bit, up above that yellow, just like that. Okay, and once again, I'll just fade that in. I'll go more towards the traditional blue in a second or two. And like I said, this is coated with glycerin, so that paint's gonna it's gonna stay for a little while. All right. I'll use a smaller brush for that. I'll use this fella. And I'm just gonna kind of, once again, I'll just kind of use this little brush. I'll just kind of blend this down into the yellow. I'll use a Hake brush to kind of smooth all this out. But I just want to kind of softly blend this in a little bit. Once again, I'll just, as I'm doing it, it'll blend in with the Hake brush. I just want to put a little buffer between that yellow and the other colors I'll be adding in. So, just like that. All right. Looks a little crazy right now, I know. But once again, I'll start blending this stuff in. Maybe I'll take a softer brush. I'll start from this side and we'll do some X strokes to kind of marry that in a little bit. Once again, I just want a little buffer in between. And remember, this is glycerin and white paint. Okay. And I'll just kind of rub that in there. If I need it a little darker, I can go back over it again. Just create a little buffer there. So glycerin and paint, it does have a little bit of a, got a little bit of leeway there. Okay. Kind of circle it in a little bit here. 3 hairs and some air type of thing going on with it. Okay. All right. And clean off your brush fairly well. I got a large towel on my lap here so I can rinse it off pretty good. It'll air dry. It'll be dry in no time. Now, obviously, I'll keep playing with it. I might go darker, might go lighter. Who knows yet? All right. Okay. I'll take a filbert here. And I'm going to take, I think I'm going to get a little bit of Prussian blue. I'll put the Prussian up around in here somewhere. Now I'm gonna use Prussian blue, but quite a bit of white to really lighten it up a bit. Okay. I'll just drag this Prussian blue out, give me a nice chunk of white, put it right in there. There's a certain lightness of the blue that I'm really looking for. And right now what I'll do is I'll fill in what I want is total sky. Okay. Oh, something of this nature. Something coming down there. So I'm thinking this here is all blue. All blue in here. So all that's going to be blue. Probably a little bit of blue up in here also. All right. Okay, I'm gonna just get some more white. A little touch of blue. And I'm just gonna make it all solid here. About as solid as I can. I will smooth all this out because I want the blue to maintain pretty much a good solid blue. All up in here. There'll be some interesting little fades and stuff going on. Probably a different kind of take on the clouds that you probably used to seeing me do. But it's all a building up process. Like I say, this will be handled a little differently from what you usually see me do. Now obviously I can use a larger brush than this, but right now I'm just blocking all this lovely stuff in. I'll smooth it out in a few. To keep it kind of solid. So I might have to go over it a time or two. But keep the clouds fairly, or the sky, the blue sky, fairly light blue. Nothing too dark. Okay. So I might kid it around. I might play around just with that amount of space for the blue. And once again, I'll just take a small, soft blending brush and just start to kind of blend out those streak marks, make it pretty solid, yeah, just a pretty solid color. So I'll just move it around a little bit here. So you can move this stuff around. If I got light areas, I'll tighten those up, but let's just kind of really block all this stuff in here. Try not to go heavy-handed. I'll move some of this paint around where it might look a little thin, but it's okay. Up here, once again, just kind of. Now this is paint and glycerin mix, so it'll maintain its wetness for a little while. It'll stay wet. And I'll mess with it with some other colors here. Like I said, I may end up going over that again to get it a solid color. Because I want the sky really, the blue part of the sky pretty much one solid color. All right. I'm going to dip into a little bit of, let's get a flat brush. I'll use this guy. I'm going to dip into a little bit of this brown. We'll put it right in here. A little touch of blue. Something like that. We'll play with a little bit of gray. Probably somewhere in here. I think I'm going to play around with a nice overhanging cloud right in here. That's kind of on the grayish side. And I might just kind of have it maybe come around a little bit lower right in here. So we're really going to we're really going to play with this cloud, these cloud formations here. Okay. bringing some of this gray up into this area. A little bit of blue, a little bit of that brown, put it in there. Gray it up. Come back right in here. I want the bottom to remain pretty crisp. It'll fade up here. But I got plans for all of that. Okay. Once I'm done messing with this this gray, and when I'm done messing with the clouds here, what I'm going to end up doing is leaving it alone for a while so it can kind of harden up there. Once again, it's going to be a lot of blending. See, I can manipulate this stuff any way I want. Smooth it right out. Remember, I got white up above, so it keeps the paint kind of flaccid a little bit there. Okay. So we're gonna mess around with a little bit of like I said, this here, don't worry about it. This will be a lot of this color. Okay. So don't worry about none of that. I'm looking at my light blue. I think I can get a, where's that brush? I just had it. Well, I can use this brush, it's okay. I'm gonna go back into my white. I must really get that blue solid again before I go into any of the cloud work. So let's get a nice solid color here. No glycerin, it's just all paint here. And once again, make this nice and solid. want this fairly solid, one color. And I'll be blending this to make sure it's pretty much a solid color. No water, no glycerin. The glycerin's already in the paint, so on the canvas. This is all canvas. Obviously, no watercolor paper for this one. All right, pure canvas here. All right, bring this all the way down here. Fade it into that brine a little bit. One color. So there'll be a lot of play on depth and all of that here. So these clouds are more or less deliberate. All right, and fairly one solid color. I'm going to dip into a wee bit of water, loosen up this paint. It's not going to make it super watery or anything, but I'm just loosening up the paint before it totally goes dry on me here. So I can straighten up this part right in here. This little speck right here. As long as I get it in there, just like that, one solid color. Easily get rid of the streaks. Overlap a little bit, like so. Keep it at one. Hey Jess, how are you? Good to see you. Just one solid color there. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to work on the clouds here. A bit of a thicker brush here. All right, now for the first layer of clouds, what I am going to do is get plenty of white and make the clouds. There we go. We're going to contaminate this white with a little bit of blue. All right, and we'll just start sketching in where I want the clouds to be. And I'll lightly pop that white right in there. I'll kind of fade it out there a little bit, but before I do that, just kind of outline that cloud a bit right in here. Outline it there, and we'll fade it. Fade it right in there. Work the shape of the cloud, and we'll just kind of fade that right in there. And we'll be playing with all sorts of. Once again, we'll be playing with light and shade with this guy for a sense of depth and all that fun stuff. Okay, we'll be doing pretty much the same thing over here. Also, I'm just gonna get a little more white. Come on in here, contaminate the white with a little bit of blue. No glycerin, just the white, and we'll work it in there. Yeah, we'll start up here. Pop it right in there. Come over here, fill it right in. And I'm just blocking all of this lovely stuff in. Right now the surface is glycerin and white paint mix. That's what I'm painting on top of on this canvas. Don't worry about me making the other stuff disappear. It's all right. Pop it right in there. We'll be tightening all this up. Okay. All right. Like I said, this guy here is going to be pretty much dark, and it'd be looming up above there. All right. So as I'm looking at it, let's clean off this brush, and once again I'm blocking everything in here, and then we'll work on values and all of that next. Once again, I don't normally do clouds this way, but you know, something a little different. We're going to work on. Need a little more of this terracotta here. Get that gray color back. There we go. Probably a little bit more brown. I think that'll work. Hopefully I got enough. We'll see in a second. If I don't, I'll make some more. Nope, I definitely gonna need some more. Use the rest of this terracotta, get some more blue in there. I would rather pretty much use too little than really put too much in there. But we're going to get that cloud shape going there. Paint right through the fish. Paint right into that yellow. We'll be getting this a little darker. Right now I'm just blocking all of this in. Block it in. Yeah. In order to show the contrast of that yellow, we're going to have to darken in this cloud here. But right now it's just the first pass doing all of this here. All right. So don't worry about the shapes and don't worry about the brush strokes. We'll tighten that up as we go along here. Like I said, this is going to be a little darker than what you're looking at right now. This cloud's pretty much in front, and it will look like that when I'm done. So we got that guy right in the front there. All right, let's we're gonna move on to a darker brown. I really want that now I'm using what is this? This is raw umber, so it's pretty potent stuff. So the raw umber and blue will make for a much darker. Hey, Gracie, how you doing, Gracie? I am painting a commission piece. It is a giant sea tuna in the water. It's got a hook in the mouth. So that poor tuna's seen better days. So this is a little raw umber and blue, Prussian blue, raw umber. Fairly dark sky here, okay? And I gotta have a dark sky to accentuate that yellow. Spread it right out there. Now I'm going over the fish's mouth, so it doesn't matter. But it definitely has to be a dark sky here. So I'm blocking it in with this dark stuff. Put it right in there. This is a 24 by 36 inch board, so definitely one of the larger boards that I've ever done live, easily. One of the larger boards I've done live. All right. This painting will be handled a little bit differently than what you used to see me do. Okay, now that's a block in right there. Well, thank you, Gracie. I will get as much as I can done, really, with this. Well, this is definitely more than one sitting, okay? But I will do my best. Okay, let's now take the brush, soft brush here, and we're just going to kind of get rid of those streak marks, make it all nice and one solid kind of color, more or less, kind of, sort of. We're gonna have all sorts of stuff happening in this cloud, so, but I want to smooth out what I can, very lightly, because the glycerin and the paint mix here. So as it dries, it's just gonna get tacky. That's all. But see, smooths it right out. All right. Okay. Now, as certain paint layers dry, all right, sometimes I would have to go back over it again, and I'm going to go back over with the light blue and white. As long as I find a brush that's suitable. I know I had one. I had it in my hand. Just that. There you are. So. Thank you. The glass palette, yeah, it's pretty handy. It's pretty neat. A little bit of blue. Not much white. I'm gonna have to dig out some more white pretty soon. Much more than that. So let's not even play around. Let's add some more white. I'll be doing a whole lot of adding paint in this process, because I rather use too little and add more on than to use too much and have to waste it. So. Okay, let's put that in there like that. And I'm just going to tighten up right here where I see a little bit of the darkness from the other cloud. I don't need that there. Nice separation of, there we go. So I'm trying to really get rid of the streak marks and make one solid. This blue, I want one solid, strong color. Everything else can have little values in it, but the sky, definitely one color, one strong color. Okay, and really just, all you gotta do really is just let it dry. All the stuff here for the clouds, there'll be different shades and all sorts of different things happening with that. All right, okay. Let's start playing with a little bit of the guess we can start messing with some of these clouds in here. So what I'll do with the clouds, I probably should just zoom in on this, because this is what we're really primarily messing with here. So I'll just bring it down a little bit, right about somewhere around in here. I'll just move it over right here. Okay, because we're going to be dealing with the clouds, and I'll pop the focus on real quick for you guys there. There you go. All right. So we'll be messing with these clouds here. Okay. We're really gonna play around with these clouds, have a little fun with them. I'll take some of this light blue, and we'll kind of tease some stuff up in here, down below here. So down below, we kind of relatively want it. I'll circle it. Let's get some kind of small circles going there, like that. We'll come down below here. We'll be teasing a little brown down in here also to kind of grade up a little bit. We'll add a nice little circle in here too. You'll see. Okay, I'll get a little bit of this umber. Small dot of blue, a little bit of umber. We'll darken up. We're going to play around with these clouds a little bit. Down below we want up around in here. We get some circular stuff happening there. Especially up top here. We'll kind of mess around with that. We'll darken some of this up here on the bottom. Just like that. Smooth it out. And once again, it's all a building up process. Pretty solid down here, but we're gonna kind of curve it. Curve some of these. Get some of that roundness for the clouds there. Back and forth. Up in here. Play around some of that in here. Bring some of that blue in there. Just like that. It's a lot of blending. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll play around with a little bit of white and the little bit of grays on the brush here. And we'll slowly get lighter and lighter. And we'll start kind of playing around in here a little bit. Come out here. Very gradual. Still circular motion. A lot of circle strokes there. Some are longer, some are shorter, but just keep playing with it. Blend it in there. The more you stroke around with it, the more it will start to blend. So I made coffee much earlier today. Much earlier. Now I can smooth all of that out, what you're seeing over here. Okay. Look at that. Look at this blend. Or I can do the X stroke thing. Don't matter. Very soft brush. And we're on canvas, so it's a different feel altogether. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's take the same brush. And we'll play with the light source. Oh, probably down here. Strong light source right in here. Just like that. We'll bring it up. So we got a strong light source that kind of fades out up here though. Get some more titanium white. Because here, we'll do it way up here. Just like that. And we'll mess around and fade some of that out up here. I'll make it a little softer there. Like so. Maybe we'll kind of play around with something down here. And really, we'll whiten it up top. Up top, we'll keep it pretty bright. Actually, I don't want it that bright up there. I'll do something else. I kind of want it bright down here on the bottom. Let the light catch on the bottom, because that's where the sunlight is. So we'll play around and keep the bottom kind of of sharp. We'll add a little color up top. So we'll kind of get a little bit of this gray, and we'll kind of play around with some of that up there. Let's get a little more brown, little bit of blue, and we're gonna mix some white in there. And we'll kind of play around with some of that right up in here. And we'll kind of mess with a little something up in here. Up top here, we'll keep it fairly deep. Up here, we'll round it off a little bit. A little dark up here. Okay. Now, before you say yuck, we'll blend it all in first. And we'll fade it in a circular motion. Circular motion, circular. Clean off my brush. Cut up bell peppers, huh? Interesting. Very interesting. I'm just building up some intensity here, but mainly on the bottom. I can pretty much fade out what I don't want. Pretty heavy on the bottom. Like that. Then I could take a smaller brush, and instead of fading it out on the bottom, I'll fade it out here on the top. Just kind of keep on wisping it here. Yeah, squeaky, tailless rats. That's what Gracie's playing with over there in England. Squeaky, tailless rats. A guinea pig by any other name is a rat. Some little trails happening there. See, get some of that activity going there. See that? Okay. We're gonna do the same thing with that fellow over there. Same concept. Okay, Gracie. Gracie's good people from over the pond. Okay, let's build up some more tones and fun stuff here. So I'll go back into this kind of bleached gray, and we'll kind of play around in here a little bit. Dip into a little bit of brown, a little bit of blue. I want to establish some more depth in that little corner there. Oh, a little something right up in here. Establish a nice deep spot within this, right in here. And then we'll come back up here and kind of play with some stuff up here, a little bit here. Right up in here, right in between here, we can kind of right up in there. Let's get a little bit of blue, a little touch of white, a little more white. Okay. And we'll kind of sculpt some mid-tone stuff in there. This is another reason why I didn't have my, I really didn't want the face camera on, because you guys, need to see all of this. Yeah, you just carefully do it in parts. Okay, let's take a little bit of titanium white. I'll just take the softy brush here. And once again, we'll kind of circular motion up in there like that. Let's pop one right up in here. And be a lot of fading and such. But and we're gonna play around with a little something in here too. And you're really mixing those colors, blending them together there. Bring that out there like that a little bit. Fade some of that in there. Still a circular, round type of thing going on there. Clean off this brush here. I see Jessica's making jokes. We're gonna blend all that in a little bit. Not necessarily make it all one, but just kind of smooth some of this out. So my highlights will tend to blend a little bit more when I'm done doing all of that. So right now I'm just mixing a whole bunch of values in the sky. All right. So you got a lot of mixes in there, but that's okay. Once again, I'll use the filbert. Once again, a lot of the brightness is coming more or less from the bottom. So a little heavy with the titanium white. Let's do a little bit of that right in here like this. Keep the intensity on the bottom. Then you fade it out. Let's have this one go like this. It's like that. Now I'm not going to lose the brightness there. And probably a little something right in here. So I'll shape all of that up. Once again, I want a lot of intensity on the bottom half. So I'll concentrate a lot of this brightness. Make a little tail end up around here somewhere. Maybe pop a little something over around here. Just like that. A little stronger tail end there. Okay. Let's go back to my brush and we'll kind of blend the back end out softly. I'm just doing it right on the edge. I want the brightness to stay there. We're gonna go. I'm gonna put a few more in there. Right in here like that. Intensity right there. And then lightly kind of fade that away there. And probably put another one right here on this edge, right in here. Very lightly. Let's fade that out a little bit. Okay. I'm going to get a stronger tail edge here. There we go. Nice little rim of bright there. We'll break that up. Break it up. There we go. I like that. So these clouds kind of have a trailing edge here. It helps with the movement of these guys. So it looks like they're moving a little bit there. Okay. All right. See how it looks totally different? See that? Alrighty. We'll play with this guy. This guy's more or less in the front. I'm thinking about shifting this down a little bit more. So before I go any further, let's bring that down a little bit. I'll go back to a flat brush. We'll dig into some more. I want it a little further down. All right. So I'll get a little bit of this brown mix here, a little touch of blue. Kind of mix that in there. Paint still somewhat a wee bit tacky, so I might want to kind of bring it down just a little bit, right up in this area here. Bring it down a little bit. So I'll kind of rub it in there. Very lightly, I'm lightly brushing it on the top so it kind of fades into that blue, lightly. Then a little more solid down here so it gives me a nice edge there. Okay, wipe off my brush a little bit. Use the underbelly, go flat, very light. Smoothing it out a little bit. Okay, smooth it out and lightly just fade. Lightly. All right, okay. Down here, we'll sharpen that edge. Just like that. I'm getting rid of the mark on the top there and just blend it in. I'm using my whole arm. That's why you see me drag back and forth. I'm not using my wrist. I'm using the whole arm. All right, but now there's a general gradation there. Okay. Okay, now that we've pretty much messed with that part, I'm gonna leave that alone for a second or two. All right, we'll tend with this guy. So let's slide that camera over. There we go. Okie dokie. We'll put it right about here. Okay, so we're gonna start with various dark shapes. We want this guy is darker and it's in front of us, so it's like more like a big old storm cloud of some sort. All right, so we got a storm cloud lingering. Okay, let's try the fan brush today. We'll try for this. All right, I believe I'm gonna need some more blue and I'm gonna need some more brown, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Might be crossing that bridge sooner than I think. Okay, anyway. Okay. So what I'm gonna do with this brush is we're gonna come here and I'm just gonna kinda fade a little love up in. Well, we'll just do it this way, and we'll work our clouds out with this. Okay. Down below here, I'll get it kind of dark. I'll pat it down here, but here we'll just kind of wisp those shapes, and I'll just keep blending those shapes just like this. And I'm just going in circular motions, like a upside down letter C or the letter U. Whatever one floats your boat, whatever one that you can associate with. All right. Now you might not be able to see that too well because the light is actually shining over in this area, so you might not see it too well. The paint's getting a little tacky, and that's fine. We'll work with it. Once again, I'm just getting basic shapes going on here with it. Yeah, I'm gonna need some more brown. I'm gonna need some more blue. That I can see right now, so. I might not should have put all that brown right there. I should have put it in the other spot. So that was kind of my mistake. So I'll just take what I got right here and I'll just kind of move it back over there. And then I'll just grab some and put it right there. Okay. I don't got much blue to make a difference in anything. I'll just try to mix it here with the knife. This might help. When you use a palette knife, it does a quicker mix, a more thorough mix. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right. And we'll dip my brush into this. And once again, we'll just kind of, whoo. How that for dark? I bet you see that. Oh yeah, I bet you see all that. Here, get some of that darkness going in here. Now I'm gonna blend all of this. I'm still blending even with this this brush, and basically just blend off the tail edge. But I'm gonna do some other blending, get some really interesting values happening there. So right now you see a bunch of lines and streaks, but that's okay. The paint's still tacky. So there's a method to my little madness here. Jessica's got a morbid sense of humor. And we're just gonna lightly see how we, oh, yeah, you guys see it. I'll lightly kind of, in a circular motion still, but I'm lightly blending in those tones there. The more you blend, the more it fits in. The more it just blends into the to the other color preceding it. Like I say, the glycerin is still fairly wet, so I can maneuver this stuff around a little bit. The thing is, with glycerin, you're going to have to wait for it to dry a bit to continue on if you plan on doing more stuff. It all depends. It depends on the temperature of your room. Okay. So as I'm doing this, I'm going to connect some of this darkness to the other ones. Don't want to lose the intensity of everything. But the darkness is very important. Darkness is needed. You can't show any type of light without darkness. Got me? Okay. I'm going to get back into my filbert knife, or filbert brush, filbert knife. All right. Okay. Right up around in here, we'll kind of nurse some more darkness right up in here. It's going to be pretty much straight down here on the bottom, but we're going to curve and blend that upward. Fairly dark down here. But we're going to like I said, you guys barely would see this very well because the light, you see the sparkles, that's where the light is hitting. So you guys might not see this too well. Then I'll start kind of building little tones and stuff in there. Get some more of this dark color. A lot of it's a play on light and dark. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for you guys to see this one because of all the sparkles. It's just the reflectiveness of the glycerin. And I can take my blender and not necessarily make everything disappear, but just kind of smooth things out a little bit. I can probably take the Hake brush and do the same thing, because I want to keep all the variances of tones in there. Like I said, you guys don't really see it too much because of the glitter or the sparkling, the sparkling stuff there from the glycerin being so reflective. Okay. I'm going to take what I don't have. Hold on. I'm going to add a little bit of, let's bring this, keep it right here. Well, thank you. I hope so. I hope so. I'm just going to take some pure blue here. Okay. Yeah, because this is pretty much a darker cloud that's in front of us, and we're just going to kind of play around with some of that blue in there. Just like that. And a lot of it's going to be a lot of blending and fading in there. So we're going to blend all sorts of interesting things in there. A lot of intensity. And once again, I'm just really putting a lot of in between tones in there. I'm using the filbert brush to do it. And I'm going in a circular motion. Like say you don't see it too well. Yeah, I hope so. If not, I don't get paid. So yeah, I hope it turns out okay. You guys don't see my brush strokes, but I'm just going back and forth like the letter U, circular tones. Like I say, this paint's very pliable. When I say pliable, that means it moves around a lot. And that's all I'm doing, is really blending all this stuff in. I'll sneak in some highlights in this, but not like you would think. But they'll be in there. But it's definitely in there. When I say highlights, it doesn't necessarily mean the brightest thing, but it's going to be the brightest in that particular cloud. All right, because that's a darker cloud. So I can use either a flat brush or I can use a filbert. Let's use the flat brush. Use this little tiny brush, this little fella right here. Okay, let's take a little bit of titanium white. We're going to put it over right here. Mix it in with this color. Now, the paint's starting to dry because it's kind of thin. So I'll take a little bit of white and kind of add a little, lighten it up a little bit. But this is about all the highlight I probably would need. And we're going to kind of actually, I would rather really play around down here. Like this. And then we're going to play around right here. And we're going to keep it circular. We're going to fade it a little bit. Smooth that out. Got a little bit. Like I say, you're not going to see really too much of this because of the glycerin, or the light is shining right on this half of the board. So it's going to be a little tough for you guys to see this. And there's no nothing wrong with blending with your finger. Now my highlights are coming from the bottom, in case you're wondering. All right, because the light's here, so the highlights are kind of reflecting off the bottom. But as you can see, even though they're highlights, they're not super bright. It doesn't have to be. It's a dark cloud. Don't laugh at my squeaky chair. Some of this is a little brighter than others. Some stand out a little bit more than others. Okay. This side is definitely a lot more wet than this side. All right. Just want to let you know. Okay. Let's play with another, I'll use this brush, it doesn't matter. Now my room is a little bit warm. Now as I'm doing this, and I'm talking to you guys, okay, I still want it to be a little bit brighter down here by the waterline, okay? So I'm just taking a little titanium white. I'll put it right here. A little touch of yellow in there. More white than yellow. Okay. All right. I'm gonna come down here on the bottom. Put that white in there. You'd be surprised how much paint you would actually need to pull this off. But I kind of want it really bright here. I'm going to keep exaggerating that white and yellow till I get the brightness I pretty much want. Right in there, nice line, and then I'll just keep blending that spot in till I get that brightness. Now the rest I can just kind of, I can rub the top there. It's all right. All right. Same thing here. Pop that bright white right in there. Right on the bottom, right there. Oh, on the bottom, right in here. I just need a line of it. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put a slight glow here, but it's got to be totally dry, so I might do that probably later on this evening or tonight. All right, enjoy your lunch, Jessica. So I'm still looking at it here. Actually, what I can do, I'm gonna sneak it in there because I think I can get away with it. I'm gonna go with a little bit of white and yellow. I think I can do this. At least I hope I can, or I'm gonna have to do it all over again. But right here on the top here, right here on the top, very lightly, very lightly, very lightly, I go in between the colors with this white yellow. And I'll soften this edge a little bit with the white and yellow. And I'll go with a little more white. But I'm gonna brush it really lightly. Just to fade it a little bit. Just to fade that, brighten it up a little bit right in here. I'll keep doing it. Get a little bit more white. It's blending in with the yellow anyway. But as you can see, you can start to see like a little glow there. See that? Okay. Use my finger to softly blend that. But you see how soft it's getting? This one's like right there, right in front. All right. This one's getting swallowed back by that brightness. And what you do is you keep repeating that brightness. Now white is very opaque, so I'm using a little bit at a time with each light passing. And right up top, this is the advantage of using canvas. All right, so you can really lighten that stuff up there. And like I say, Mr. Fish is like right there. All right, okie dokie. I guess what I can also do, since I'm thinking of it, is I can block in the top part of this water. And all it is really is just me blocking it. Okay. Now I have to be particularly careful doing this part because it's going to be I don't know if I want it the water too wavy back there, which is because right here. Well, let me put this up here so you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. Here, right here, it's going to be a line separating the top part of the water, and all of this is underwater. So I know you're looking at the thick black tape, but it's really that line is going to separate the top part of the water and the bottom part of the water. So up here from the top of this line to the top of this line, it's all the ocean, the top part of the ocean here. Okay. So that I know I can pretty much block in. Actually, I think he's live now. I think he's live right now. He's probably been live for a minute. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Yeah, he's almost done. I'd have missed him. All right. Yeah, he's about done. So I missed him today. He's on early. All right. Yeah, let me block this in. Let me clean off this palette here. As you can see, I got a little bit of a mess. Some people can paint with a mess. I can, but I don't know. I'm just kind of accustomed to, once I'm done with a particular segment or part, it's time to clean it up and move on. So that's what I'm doing. This white's pretty contaminated. It's a mess, so we can get rid of this. This is kind of a mess too. Let's get rid of this. I use a metal palette knife. It kind of gets this stuff up quick, fast, and in a hurry, so it's all good, all good, all good, all good. All right. Yeah. Okie dokie. All right. So let's the top part of the water here. We'll get a nice mix of ultramarine green and blue here, and this is going to be pretty much the more or less the top part of the water, and we can take this off. Sure Mr. Fish is covered well. I'll expand the painting here. Right about here. All right, and we'll move the picture downward. Let me just kind of put that back in focus. It'll get back. It'll go back in focus. Let me put this here, and maybe it'll help you out. All right. All right. Let's move. Let's move this down here and to the other side. Okay. So we're gonna pretty much cover all this. And remember, this is the top part of the water here. there's gonna be like little waves and droplets and blah 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 going on. So but right now we're just gonna get the core color happening for this. This part of the painting is pretty much it's pretty much a clean surface, more or less, except for like some of that, but you're not going to see that once the color is on there. So I'm just going to use straight glycerin. It's not really too large of a spot to cover, so I'm going to use the 2-inch brush here. No, it's a 1.5-inch brush, and I'm just get some glycerin real light. As you can see, this brush has got stained from the whatever color I had, and it's all right if it's stained. It's okay. Trust me when I say it's all right. So I got a little bronze color from the last project I've done, but it's okay if it's stained like this. Trust me, you're not going to tell. You're really not. Okay. Once again, this is canvas, not paper. So your glycerin will have a different feel. Then I'll just spread it out here. And I gotta really press down to get this glycerin to travel a little bit. It's a different surface than watercolor paper. I gotta really rub it in there, and be careful of that yellow there. Okay. All right, man, that's fine. All right, let's get a little bit of this blue, which is very dark, and some of this ultramarine green. We'll pop it in there together like this. So we'll tint that ultramarine green there. And believe it or not, I might like the way it looks just like that. We'll see. Okay, right from the top. I will get it as close as I can. I'm moving my whole arm. And I'm blocking it in right now, so no worries. Just blocking in the color. I'm bringing it downward, away from the edge, back there. Bringing it all downward. Downward, downward, downward. Bringing that color downward. Downward from the edge. Glycerin will make your paint expand. So don't worry about that. Your paint will expand. I'm just getting some of that dark edge and bringing it downward. So once I go across, it evens out. Just like this. Yeah. Rub it right across. Just like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be perfect because, like I say, who knows what kind of stuff I'm going to have going on over there with it. Get some more of this color here. I'm just... and bring it this way. Dragging it downward. Remember, glycerin has a different reaction to canvas. Bring it right down. The more you blend it, okay, the more it gets in there. a little bit of Prussian blue and ultramarine green. Gives a very pleasant ocean color there. If I have any gripes about this painting, it's really that the tuna might not be big enough, but we'll make it interesting. Now, glycerin expands when it dries, so a lot of the streaks you see will not be there. It's just the nature of the glycerin. It kind of expands. So don't try to force it to disappear. It'll disappear by itself. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of this here blue, and we're going to kind of darken up a little bit, a little part of this right around in here, but darken that up a little bit. And it's just me really darkening and fading. So I'll get it dark around in here. Especially where the separation line is right in here. It's pretty, gonna get it pretty dark there. Just like that. Slightly darker there. Gotta get a little touch more of the blue. What's wrong with your eye? Oh, what did you try to do, Gracie? Did you mistakenly type a cuss word in there, Gracie? Gracie tried to cuss me out, y'all. Gracie typed in a cuss word. Once again, we're just going to darken up that bottom. Okay, so the wee bit of dark blue in there. Okay, not necessarily meaning this is going to be the way the ocean's going to look when it's finished. It's going to have some activity or whatever going on in there. All right, okay. Now I can, because I'm still messing around. Thank you, Gracie. I'm going to add just a little touch of titanium white because I want kind of a little shine back there. One side is shining more than the other, and it shouldn't. That shouldn't be brighter than that. That one's got the dark cloud. So, you know, just saying. Just saying. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know, even it out a little bit, you know. I think we're good. Just to brighten it up a little bit back there. That's all. This side, not so much. and I'll leave it alone for right now. I'll leave it alone. Down here is going to be real interesting, because what I decided to do, okay, is to add a sea bottom down there. All right, now the sea bottom, and I'm going to add other tuna in there. Of course, they won't be as detailed. All right, they won't be as detailed, but so what I thought, I'd just use a pencil and show you here. So remember, this is going to have like a kind of a motion line, wave line, or whatever in this. All right, because this is the top of the water. From here down is the bottom. All right, so let's move this back up here somewhere. Okay, let's move this downward. Okay, so we're gonna have probably a school of fish in here. We're gonna have a larger school of fish up in here, and we'll probably have something up around here, because it's a tuna, so we have maybe something swimming there. All right, okay, just simple sketches. All right, but within that, we're going to kind of have a little bit of underwater stuff happening there. We'll probably have one yeah, something like that. So it will be series of grays. Here it's gonna fade out. Here, solid. It starts to fade out even here, or it fades out like that way. It just starts fading out. Now that I can do now, because it has to be totally dry before I add all the other stuff in. Okay, all right. So that we can do. We can play with that. And plus, it gives me a chance to use this paint that I have. And it's not too hard to use to make gray with the paint that I already have supplied here. We got this greenish blue here, and we got this umber. All right, so we're gonna make gray with this stuff right here. All right. And if we make the gray close to now this is a green, greenish blue, and this color has more green in it. So what I'm going to have to do is use terracotta. Terracotta is a brown with more red in it. So watch what happens when I add that to this bluish green here. All right, it's gonna neutralize all of that. It's gonna kill that, bring it down a bit. And as I'm doing this, I'm actually making quite a bit more. But that's all right. We'll use that too. Do we got any more of this dark blue? That should help that out. Okay, now it's getting more towards that blue-green, but that's okay, because I got something that can kill that. Watch this. Since it's more green, you use another opposite. You use red. Red is equally as powerful. So be careful. I'll use a little bit. Put it right in there. The color will start to kind of brown out on you here. See this? See look how dark it's getting. Now it's heading toward that area of being canceled out. Okay. Now it's heading toward that gray area. The more red, the grayer it's going to get. And what's going to happen now? Okay, you see that mix that's going on there? Look at that deep gray. See how it turned gray on you? It canceled out. All right, there. That's what happens when you put opposite colors together. They cancel each other out. But it's a nice rich gray though. I like that. Okay, so we got enough of this, more than enough for the underwater mountains. Okay, now I add a little bit of white to that. But look at that gray. Look how rich that is. See this? Look at that. Okay. But you see the different variances of gray. All right. Okay. All right. This ought to be interesting. I'm going to have to use a wee bit of glycerin here because I want strong, and then it fades out. Okay, but it has to be in shades of gray. It has to be faded out. So let's go back to our trusty 2-inch brush, and I'm only going to use it partially. And what I don't use is going to evaporate anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Now, as that paint dries up top, okay, I'll bring this glycerin down a little bit so I got room to kind of fade it away. Okay. I can use this. It doesn't matter. I'll use this. So we're going to use this light gray and get the mountain part of it, the underwater stuff kind of done up here like this. Very, very simple to do. Just like that. All right. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Bring it down, fade it out. Gotta bring it down. Even if I don't have a sharp edge, it doesn't matter because it's underwater. And some of this is gonna be obscured anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right now, I'm just gonna, just like that, very lightly. Get that fade going. And I'll just fade it out. Fade it out, fade it out, fade it out, fade it out. Fade it right out. Just kind of let it kind of fade away. I'm gonna get more of a fade than that. I'll use this guy. What kind of keep fading, fade it right out. Little X strokes, keep it moving. X strokes, X strokes. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. X strokes, fade it out. See, fade it right out. Even some of this here, 3 hairs and some air, I'm gonna kind of soften up some of these edges in there. So you can soften up some of those edges there. Let's soften up the ones up here. Sorry if my head's in the way. Actually, what's in the way is that picture. Right in here. Right in here, we'll make some of that go away. Like a little bit of kind of there. So we'll make some of that go away, and we'll kind of get a little, almost like underwater fog there. Let me get my head out the way there. And once again, continue to use the X strokes. Just fade it right out. Remember, once it dries, we're gonna have all sorts of blues and whatever going on in there. It's gonna be fish covering it and whatnot. I'll just wipe some of that away. Now, in case you get something like that, don't worry. Glycerin and water aren't good bedfellows, so glycerin, water will take that stuff right off. So it'll be, see, look. This is what water will do. So be careful. All right, you'll wipe the whole painting away. Okay. But that's what water will do. It just takes it right off. So don't worry about it. See that? You probably would see more if I got my freaking head out the way. But you guys you catch it. Yeah. I think that's really it. It's kind of, actually I can just take my brush and I'll kind of fine tune some of that. See, I can just rub and keep in or fade out what I want. All right. Yes. What's going on? Oh, Tony is short for Anthony, Jessica. It's like a nickname. Like, it's like somebody calling you Jesse or Jess instead of Jessica. Okay, let's clear that little bit up there. Now, doing what I just did, and I've got little bits of I'll put a little bit of texture in there, just like that. Crisscross, smooth some of that out. Just a little bit of texture. So when those blues are in there, and you see I really don't want it all super focused, so, you know, I kind of blur some of this out here. As you blur it out, it just looks further away. What is that? Get that out of there. It's all right. Okay. Actually, I don't want that there. That looks distracting. Just kind of scratch that out of there for a second. I don't know. It just looked like too much. All right. If you get something like that and it looks a little much, just take a little white and pop it in there. Makes it disappear. Just like that. Oh, there. See how you correct stuff. All right. Yes. Well, there you go, Jessica. There you go. Same thing. So Tony's just shortened for Anthony. All right. So that's one down. Okay. Okay. Let's go for this guy. This guy is going to be a little more detailed because he's closer. But he's still going to be faded from here. Probably here that way. So the trick is really to fade this thing here. All right. And so we got the darker color, gray. All right. But you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute here. Let's take more glycerin. Technically, I should erase the pencil marks, but technically I don't want to. It won't matter. It's going to be covered. Now, with something darker in the front, okay, let's go from here. Like I say, this is canvas. Canvas has a different feel for the glycerin. All right, the glycerin will tend to bubble or kind of bubble up on you. So you got to kind of work it and travel it and, you know, really work this thing in there. And I really don't need too much for this little spot right here. Just a little something right in there. This will have a little bit of texture to it, but remember, this is going to be covered by all sorts of paint and colors of blue, green, and whatnot. And remember that little, it's going to be faded right there. Okay, all right. Okie dokie. We'll just take this dark gray. We should be able to get away with this lovely in a perfect world. Now this guy's darker, he's up front. Okay. Now here's where it gets interesting. Remember, it's pretty solid here. All right. The majority of this is all fairly solid. And it's more in focus because it's that much closer. Okay. We're going to have all sorts of textures and crazy stuff happening with this guy. But as you can see, he's up close. Okay, remember, his fade is going to go this way. All right, so it'll start to get lighter. Let's give him a little something here. Yep, you guys can still see it, and I'm not too terribly in the way. All right, dark here. This is the good thing about glycerin. Glycerin moves around. I actually have to get up because the canvas is a little past my reach. This I'm not worried about. There's gonna be all sorts of little detail-y things happening there. But here, around in this area, all right, need to be faded out into pretty much nothing. Actually, it should be kind of, borrow something from here. Should be a little darker. Actually, I just go down here and add some of that right in here. Okay. Hope that I wasn't too much in your way. Now, once again, water and glycerin, not good bedfellows. Wipes that stuff right off. Just like that. Let's take a big joker like this. Fade it right out. The more you twist and turn it, the more it fades. Don't worry about all of this. None of that will matter. This is the part right in here, how it fades like that. All right, don't worry about none of that. That can be wiped away, cleaned away. It's okay. Wipe it right away. All right. Okay. Yes, you were chat brave today. Thank God. And no more that Catwoman stealthy stuff, Gracie. All right. It's actually good to see you, Gracie. It's good to see you. Gracie's a watercolor artist, Jessica. Yep. That's what she is. Yep. All right. Let's get a little touch of white. See, it's best for me to do what I'm doing right now with the mountains, or the underwater mountains, because we can mix this in. It doesn't matter. I just need a lighter. I don't necessarily have to add this detail to the one in the back. The one in the front, kind of, sort of, yes. Because it's, once again, it's closer to us. This is a plastic knife. I don't really use these too much, but they do serve its purpose. It's just a plastic pellet. All right. Let's get a little swipe across. We'll make some patterns here. I'll just take it very lightly, and we'll just kind of have a little fun with these kind of designs here with the underground rocks and stuff are a little different than your regular mountain. The water kind of cuts into them a little differently. Okay. And once again, it's a different look because this is canvas. This is not a watercolor paper. And with filling out these guys, there's a lot more kind of crevices in them, a little more deeper cracks and whatnot in these guys. But you can kind of design them any way you want. Take a thin line of paint and just have at it. I mean, you can kind of tap them in there to get that texture happening with it, or you can keep them with lines, up to you. Really up to you. You can have them slant. Up to you how you want to finesse this stuff. All right. As we get into it being kind of fadey, you can add some gentle, right where it's kind of dark at, you can add some, you know, well, I'm actually running out. Let's get a little more white, a little more of this dark color. And I can actually go a little bit lighter. Mix it in there. I can go a little lighter because it's starting to fade out. So you can kind of really rub it in there. Starting to fade out, but I'm gonna show you what to do with that too. All right, even up in here, pop a few bits in there because it's starting to, it's gonna fade out and disappear on you. Right here, you can kind of, but I'm gonna show you what to do with all this. What I'm doing, what you see me doing here. Watch. Watch this, because you can make that kind of, disappear. Put it right into the, see this? You soften it. It's going to give the effect of it just being right in what will be the water soon. See that? Soften some of it. Make some wide circles here. This is what glycerin would do for you. Add all sorts of effects and okay. If some of these are a little too sharp, you can fade these too. Let's go. You can start seeing it kind of, you know. See that? I can just kind of soften the edges a little bit. All right. I don't necessarily have to, I don't necessarily have to keep everything really sharp. So. And there we be. All right. So let's see what we got here so far. Let's pull back a bit. Well, Actually, I gotta get up again to close my, hold on for a second. I always forget this. All right. Okay, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna let's take this off so you guys can see what I got so far. All right.
This is yours, and I want you to take a picture of you wearing it. I see it.
All right, here.
Awesome.
Let's put this on focus here. There we go. Okay, you can see where the sparkle is still, because it's still pretty much wet. We got the top of the water so far. Then we pretty much did somewhat of the I got something in my eye, hold on. We did somewhat of the background so far, or underwater background. This guy is in the back. This fella's in the front. But remember, we're gonna have schools of fish here, school of tuna here. We're gonna have a few tuna who are gonna be not really detailed, but they're gonna be a school of them in here. But they're gonna be a little darker than what you see here. All right, so there's a school back here. Well, maybe one or two big ones here. This guy's half out the water with a hook in his mouth, and whatever else. But really, it's going to be a lot of rays and just the differences of the blue and bubbles and all. So it's going to be a lot of activity, and particularly the wave coming up from the fish. All right, so all of that's going to be happening. All right, this cloud stops the cloud stops the way it does because of the fish's mouth is like right there. The fish will be absolutely the last thing we're gonna do, more than likely. Well, not necessarily the last thing, because the last thing up above anyway. Down below, he has to be colored in kind of gray for his tone and all of that, because underwater he's a different color. All right. Oh, I forgot about this guy. So hold on. I forgot one. I got to tone it a little darker. This is too light a tone, so I gotta darken it up a little bit. All right. So I forgot about this guy. And here we go. Let's do him real quick. Boy, I forgot. How did I forget you, dude? But I did. All right. I didn't mean to forget you. Okay. And put a little bit of that love up in there like that. Okay, now I finally got him in there. Where's my towel? Wipe this off. All right, so he's in there. I don't know if you've seen all of it because my head might have been in the way. But anyway, we'll probably more or less stop right here. Okay, we're at 2 hours and 16 minutes. So that's cool. All right, so we pretty much got the clouds in the sky somewhat done. When this is fully dry, we're gonna add a little bit of that haze to this guy too. All right. We're gonna tighten up this when it's somewhat all dry. I can't really do much with it now until it's done doing this little running thing, which is what it's doing now. But it's cool. I mean, you know, if it's gonna do it, it's gonna do it. I can straighten some of it out. As you can see, I can move it around and kind of have it travel downward. When I have it travel downward, it's just bringing the paint downward like this. Keep bringing it downward there. And then I'll just lightly go over it. I gotta stand up to do it, to see it. And remember, just because I got it traveling downward don't mean it's going to spread. And plus we're gonna do waves and whatever we're gonna do back there anyway. So don't worry about that. All right. But it's just a general progression of glycerin, and as long as I got the heat on, it's gonna, you know, it's gonna dry. Like I say, it's about 90 degrees in here, so give it a few, it will definitely dry up. We got this faded, bottom part of this faded, so it's gonna automatically establish depth. All right, I'm going to keep the tape on until we get this all settled and everything. Well, actually, we'll do the waves. I don't want to do them now, but we'll get the top waves done. We'll get this tightened up here. We'll get a nice sun glow in here. I might even, when it's dry, add even more highlights to the clouds or some gentle glazing to establish more depth in the clouds. But remember, I have to glaze the other way. It can't be dark on the bottom. It has to be lit from the bottom, so it'll be kind of darker up top here. All right, so it's in reverse. All right, that's why you got the cute little highlight thingies. You can see more of it once it starts to dry. All right, so okay, all right. I think that is somewhat about it for this so far. I guess I can take a quick picture of it and show a progress report, more or less, on this. So, but I think we didn't do too bad for a start, for a beginning. Okay. All right, nobody's talking to me, so I guess everybody went to sleep. All right, so I shall see you guys when I see you. Take care, peace, and be safe out there. Okay, bye-bye.